channel. Let's start some videos. I know you can see me. Do it. Do the thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am here to hang out with you guys tonight. I have a great group of creators. We're going to have to hopefully have some more. It looks like I may even have some spots. So if you see this and you have a campaign live, private message me on Facebook. We'll talk about it. First thing I need you to do, I need you to go to YouTube and I need you to like and subscribe and all that. Or if you're on Facebook, I need you to comment. I need to know that you're here. I need to know that we're all hearing this. I need to know that you guys are getting all this wonderful content that we are putting together right here, right now with you. It has been a while since I have done a creator hangout, and I have missed each and every one of you. So what does it mean when I do a creator hangout? That means that we have some projects that are live that I'm part of. And I need to help raise some funds. So we're going to do that tonight. We're also going to meet some cool creators. We also have a dear friend of mine who is a gamer. So tonight we're going to do a little different. We're going to have a gamer on. So that's going to be fun, and we're going to see how that works out. I'm also going to do the raffle for Indietober. If you're not aware, we did Indietober last month. It's a very, very cool process that we do. And on that Indietober, people drew. We had 194 people draw various things, which is very cool. And then we're gonna right now put them on a spinner wheel thing, and then we're gonna give away a prize. We're gonna give a $50 gift card, which is pretty cool. So I'm putting people's names in the background, trying to figure all that out. I want to do it live so everybody knows it's fair. All those things are great, but it could land on anyone. So anybody has a shot to win that prize. So that's something we're going to do tonight. Something we've never done before. But as they say in the old days, fuck it, let's do it live. I think that's what they say. I think that's what people say, or at least someone said one time. Let's see if I got some comics. We got Jack Hacks right here. We got Ronan is, hey, what's up, Ronan? How are you? We got Joey. We got Raymond. We've got Sean, but I don't see anyone from Facebook. So let's see what's going on if I can fix that. Let's do a test on Facebook. I got to make sure Facebook is working. Can I see it? I cannot see Facebook. Why can we not see Facebook? So we got to do that real quick. And then we've got to get all of these wonderful people in here. We got to figure out why you can't see us. But without further ado, let's get some of these people on here. Oh, I see the Facebook test. All right, cool. So first things first, let's get the only one in the group who knows what's going on, who's been part of this shenanigans before, who is in the backstage. My good friend who just did his first piece of orange cone art, Mr. Fish Lee.
What is up, everybody?
How are you?
Man, I'm good. I'm a little bit ticky tonight, so if I yell out something stupid, I apologize. But, man, I'm excited to be here. And I'm excited about that piece in Neverland, man. That was fun.
Those came out really, really good. I'm really excited to show those to the world. Absolutely. For those who don't know, him being a little ticky means, he's got a little bit of Tourette's, so he says some things. So
I got a whole lot of Tourette's, but
you got a whole lot of Tourette's. I was being nice to our general audience. He's got a whole bunch. But
I scored a perfect 100 on the Yale Tick Severity Scale, and that's kind of hard to do. But I'm doing a little bit better these days. My meds are good. I'm exercising. I'm eating right and stuff, and things are working out pretty well. But still, it's been a late night. I've been doing a lot of pitching for the new Kickstarter, and
Right.
get a little tired.
I hear you. I hear you. All right, let's get some other people on here. All right, Brian can see it. Jack XB here. What up, homies? All right, cool. Next up, we're gonna bring it as how long I've known them. So we're gonna go with Scott King here, Harris King here next. How are you, Scott? How's the crime busting going?
It's going pretty well. Well. Thanks.
I know that's not what we're talking about tonight, so that's very confusing, but still.
That's all right. I'm happy to talk about all of my comics.
All right. So, let's see. Let's get somebody else in here. I'm looking at our list here. Still need Caleb and Danny. Danny Quick. Okay. All right. All right. Next up, we have Aaron. How are you, Aaron?
I'm great, thanks. How you doing?
Aaron, that is a very respectable black chair that you're in, and I like that. I feel it's professional, and I feel that everyone who's not in a nice black chair, like Scott just laying in bed chilling with us, like is being disrespectful. So thank you for coming and bringing class in this place, Aaron.
Trust me, if I could be in bed, I would be.
Aaron, I have no idea how to say your last name. Can you say it so I can butcher it later?
Rublevsky.
Yeah.
Rublevsky.
No, now I'm gonna quiz you on that at the end of the show to see if you remember.
I'm gonna fail it too.
That is a wild name, but happy to have you on the show. I love your work. I just got, I think it's even around here somewhere, and in the mail. I'm going to show off some of my Kickstarters in just a little bit. So we'll get that going on. And then next up, we have, we'll see if everything is working. Ryan, are things working for you?
I believe so. If you can hear me, I can hear you.
Yes,
we
Ryan
got
it.
All right.
Cheers. Welcome, Ryan. Ryan Ferricelli. How are you, good sir?
I am okay. Just hard at work trying to get the monies.
Get the money, right? I've never done it before, so you'll have to tell me your experience. I'm really excited about it. But Ryan is one of my oldest friends. So normally we only have Kickstarter creators on here, but Ryan is always welcome on anything I do. That has been a rule since 2000 something. So he is always welcome in my house. So if I'm having a house that he wants to come to, he's more than welcome. This guy protected me from a gun once. I was at a park with a random person and he had a gun. And Ryan was like, hey, should that guy have a gun here? And I was like, no, that guy should not have a gun here. So I had a weird conversation saying, hey, don't have a gun here. I didn't like that. It wasn't fun.
My wife and I just talked about that just a few days ago. We were talking about what a weird experience that was.
Right? Yeah,
so
it was
bizarre.
weird. When friends are hanging out, you don't need a gun.
Nope.
Not a necessary thing.
Yeah, but what about, just hear me out. What if, no, we're good.
No, when we're literally locked in by security people who have guns, we're good. Like, we're okay. In where we were at. We have our friend from Peru, Oscar, is in the house.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
So Oscar, him and Oscar and I had a little talk today about his project offline. Well, online, but offline. You'll see later. But I didn't ask you a question that I wanted to ask you based on your backdrop. So I'm going to do that right now. Tell us what you feel about the new Beatles song.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like much of a Beatles fan, but I haven't heard it.
You literally have Beatles behind you. How can you not be a Beatles fan? I don't understand.
No, I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me. I think that it's not like, I don't know. I don't know why they want to bring them back if they are already gone. So the people need to let go.
Okay. All right. Bold statement.
I thought it was boring. I found the song to be boring, which is like almost the worst thing you could say about it. Right.
To have all 4 Beatles and just it's just kind of boring.
Right. I liked it. I wouldn't say it was boring, but I will say I didn't make it through the whole song. So maybe you are correct. Towards the end, when
that's the thing. Not every song's a hit, but you don't get to like go over it and redo it. You're dealing with like this amount of tape you've got. That's it. So it's the best you're going to get. It's sad it was boring.
That is wild. All right, let me ask. There was one other person who was supposed to come. Let me make sure see where he's at. All right. So before we start this whole shenanigans, as I said, over at Indietober, we had 194 people that did various art projects for Indietober. They all did things. We had 31 different characters they could draw. And I have a wheel here that we're just going to get out of the way real quick, just so I can show I did it live, so nobody can say I helped one of my friends. This is the wheel. That's okay. That is not the spin. Everyone see this wheel? Can you guys see it? All right. It has everyone's name on it. Based on how many submissions you did, we'll get you on there. So if you did 31 all 31 days, you got the big one. So those 3 guys right there are the big ones that did all 31. Awesome. So I'm going to spin it real quick. We're going to see who wins, and then I'm going to give them $50, which is pretty cool. So next year when it's around, definitely take part of it. We're going to get this out of the way real quick, and let's go.
Big money, no whammies. Come on, big money.
No whammy,
no
no
whammies.
Let's see.
Oh.
Come on, Mr. Jared Lockhart. Jared Lockhart, contact me. I owe you $50, good sir. So let's get all that taken care of. That's really cool. I hope you guys liked it. And again, not what we do here, but I so many fucking things I got to keep up sometimes. I'm going to be honest. All right. I think I see one more person. No. All right. So let's see. So here's what we do for those who are not here. We are here to get backers. So if you are watching this program, please consider backing. What we're going to do is we're going to go over all these campaigns. Oh, Raymond's here. Nice. Oh, it's Jared. Jared won. Sorry. Raymond did a whole bunch of work. I got really excited. Sorry about that, Raymond. But thank you for all your hard work on the campaign. I am bad at this. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to show a whole bunch of campaigns. We're going to talk about their campaigns. We're going to talk about the creative process. I'm going to write all those campaigns on this piece of paper, which was a cover from a Kickstarter I backed. See, I backed shit. We're going to put them all down, and we're going to try to get some backers. We have 10 people who are coming on today, so we're going to try to at least get everyone at least one backer. But hey, we really like more, and if you can't back, here's the cool thing. We're going to ask you to share it out for us, get it out. In fact, anyone in this panel, if you guys can share this feed that we're on out, I'm going to share that to you to make sure that everybody's aware that we are live, so we can try to get as much backing for everybody. But I am going to yell at you. I'm going to scream at you. If anybody's watched this show, that's what I do. I do it out of love. All these creators have worked for months. I think sometimes for Ryan, it's been 5 years working on the project that we are going to talk to you guys about. So bear with us, hang out for a little bit. I'm going to make you laugh. Fish is going to do some Tourette stuff. Scott's going to get out of bed if he gets enough backers. Aaron's going to show us what's behind that black chair. Oscar's going to come to America from Peru, and Ryan's going to role play us through a whole game. So it's going to be an exciting night. We got Charlie Stickney coming in. We've got a whole bunch of people. So first thing I need, all you guys who are part of this, can you guys in the private chat message, go ahead and link me your Kickstarter, please, so I know what's up. And let me count 6. I have 2 spots. So if you have a live Kickstarter, you message me on Facebook, I may be able to get you in. So message me and I may be able to get you in tonight if you have a live Kickstarter. I'm all about helping and boosting the community and getting all that taken care of. Let me write this Jared Lockhart down so I don't forget. All right. Let's see. All right. All right, I got some campaigns. All right, so let's start with Mr. Crime Buster. We'll start with Scott here first. We're going to go over Scott. Scott King Harris has been doing comics for quite a bit. What number campaign is this, Scott?
This is my 12th campaign.
12th campaign. All right. And tell us a little bit about this thing. Now, remember, this is not a deep pitch. You're going to give, we're going to give you like, probably 2 or 3 minutes, but not going deep because we got a lot of people here to go through. So let's tell us about this campaign.
Sure. Well, it's an epic fantasy, and as it says here at the top, it's about a ragtag party of adventurers who are thrown together by fate and charged with a quest to save their doomed world. So it's all the stuff that I love about fantasy comics like Conan the Barbarian and Warlords. A Bronze Age feel is what I'm going for with those comics that I loved as a kid. But also, I'll put in a lot of stuff from Dungeons and Dragons. I do a lot of role-playing games online, MMOs, and so I put in all of my favorite stuff from all the different fantasy sort of avenues that I like, and I'm combining into this one ongoing series. This is issue 2. We successfully kickstarted the first issue over the summer, and so now we're back with issue 2. And I've got a lot of different variant covers, and we've unlocked, as you can see there, a lot of different stretch goals, or rather I should say milestone goals. We haven't quite hit our funding yet for the stretch goals, but it's just sort of my love letter to epic fantasy and Dungeons and Dragons.
Nice. As a role player myself, I love that. I love the flat colors. I know that that's a style of yours. A lot of your books have the flat colors, which is really cool and not seen as much, which I like. And you're using Rock Alvarez, who I've used before. He's a great artist. Very, very talented. Very, very fast, too.
Yeah, so Rock, for issue 1, there's a guy by the name of Marcos Lima did issue 1. He wasn't available. It's one of those indie comics scheduling things. He just had other gigs. So I brought in Rock for issues 2 and 3, and he's very good, particularly with the action. Like a lot of movement, a lot of motion in his action sequences, like everything's going. So, which is perfect because action is the byword for quests. Like I want to get the character stuff in there, but I believe that, characters are revealed through action. We can learn who the characters are by what they're doing. So there's a lot of action, a lot of fight scenes, just a lot of stuff going on all the time. Really happy with the work that Rock did.
Nice. All right, so first let's share this campaign out. All right, and here's what we do, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to share it out here. I'm going to share it out on the Facebooks, so you guys can all click on it and check it out yourself. Don't take my word for it. Check it out yourself. Share it on the Facebook. Sorry, I got like 5 windows open because everybody decided to mess with me at once. Get all of that. Oh, Brian's right. Link me. He's ready. Brian says he hasn't seen the. I like the Beatles, but I haven't heard the new song. So, all right. Does anybody have any questions before we switch on to this? Off this real quick. Just any quick questions from our panel here? Cool. All right. No problem there. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to find a chat so I can do some. All right. Don't worry about it. All right.
Sorry, if I could just mention real quick, one thing I forgot to mention is there's a special edition, which is the RPG edition. It's the one that has the variant cover that looks like the old D&D modules. That edition has 8 bonus pages that the other ones don't. That's gaming material. So you can actually play through the story of the comic in your own home D&D game. It's got all the rules for how this world works. It's got a little mini module that is the story from the comic, so you can play it at home if you get that limited edition.
What edition?
It's called the Tabletop RPG. Oh, we use old school essentials, so it's like it's like a first edition emulator. So, but you can it's easily adaptable to like whatever edition you have. But it's basically first edition.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, so I have you down at 2,565 with 101 backers. We're going to promise you at least one backer, and we're going to go to 885-102. I'm only going to do one tonight. Promises, just because we have a lot of campaigns, and I'm scared of Ryan because he's an RPG. I'll be honest. Oh, we got D Quick here.
What's up, Danny?
What's happening, everybody? How y'all doing?
Didn't you just send me a message how you won't be here and you apologize? And I was in my head swearing about how Danny Quick thinks he's too good for me. But here, what happened?
Not even a little bit. No, me and my wife just got back from seeing the Marvels. And I literally told her to go get in the shower, and I was going to come down here and jump on the show. So I don't know exactly how long I have, because when she called, I definitely am gonna go running. But no, I appreciate the opportunity, Trav, man. I'm a big fan of yours and the platform and everybody on this panel. What's up, Fish? How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Good to see you.
Good to see y'all.
So speaking of Fish, we're going to do Fish next. Get him up, talk about his campaign.
Yeah. Talk to Fish about this. Him having some under boob on there. Fish is skirting the line a little bit right now. So
all right.
Yeah, well, it's getting about as far as I can take it.
All right, let's
the play button's right over the top of it to keep the kiddies safe.
There you go.
Well, before we go to you, Fish, I got to congratulate Danny Quick, because he is more famous in comics than I am. I know this because I got a message from a friend of mine who is not in comics at all, not one of our comics people, and said, "Hey, there's an escape room about a comic," and he sent me Danny Quick's video, and I was like, "Son of a bitch!" Like, I am not going to TikTok. I know you have 1 billion followers on TikTok, Danny. I'm not going. I'm 44 years old. I can't go to TikTok, Danny.
You don't want to cross the Quick Nation. I can tell you that from experience, man. His followers are devout. Wow. He cracks a joke and they will jump on you quick.
I'm out.
No, man, you would have fun on TikTok, man. I think you would do great on there.
It's actually pretty cool. I've made a lot of awesome new friends on TikTok, a lot of cool new creators and stuff that I've connected with that way.
I'll be canceled in a week. I don't know what will happen. I just know I'll be canceled. All right, let's go. What is going on here, Fish? Like, you learned Kickstarter recently. This is your third campaign. Now, no one told you this. You can do one comic per campaign. Just because you're on your third doesn't mean you need 3 comics. I apologize if someone lied to you.
Well, now, see, the problem is I'm too fast. I've been knocking out a comic a month for my Patreon backers and stuff. And like, you can sign up at my Patreon and get comics sent to you every month. But this is the catch up for everybody else. And in this Kickstarter, I've got the second issue of The Mighty Caw. I've got the first issue of Fish Tales, which is a new anthology series that I'm doing that lets me tell lots of different cool sci-fi and time travel stories and stuff. And I am recoloring, relettering, remastering my original book I started with 5 years ago, T-Man and Hyperstrike, about a superhero team where he's the living embodiment of Tourette syndrome and she has ADHD and has built this suit of armor that's powered off of all of her extra energy. And I launched that one 5 years ago. And since then, I have worked on 73 books and God knows how many covers and pinups and whatnot since then, and helped raise over $130,000. It freaking blows my mind. Wow. And now I'm getting back to telling my own stories for the first time in like 5 years. And so here we go.
All right. So tell us about the other ones real quick. My Mighty Caw, the issue 2. What's going on?
It picks up right where the first one left off. It's this alien bird barbarian from across the galaxy, and he accidentally started a slave rebellion on his home world. The rulers couldn't stop him, so they hired space pirates to capture him and take him off world, and that turned out to be a big mistake for the pirates, and he is slaughtering his way across the galaxy as we speak. We got to see what happens in issue 2. Fish Tales has 4 new stories in it. It has Gary Feldman, assistant district manager of the multiverse. It has Alice Lost in Wonderland that has the underboob in it, that has a fully grown Alice that's been lost in this interdimensional rift between worlds her whole life.
Yeah,
and
hold on. You're going too fast over this underboob thing. That's a little bit more than an underboob. That is definitely across the line. I'm with Danny. That's.
I like that you let us know that she's fully grown, though. I'm glad that you put that.
That is important.
Maybe this is not a child Alice.
Very important. Very important.
I have daughters. This is not a child Alice. This is a full. That shirt fit her when she got here. She's been here a long time.
All right.
I feel like when there is less over boob than there is under boob, that maybe it's just boob.
Right. Did Fish in this world? Did her boobs have to adapt to fight off the enemies that came after her because they look a little sharp?
That picture, I will admit, that picture got away from me because I don't normally like. She has different proportions in the book, but I was working on my first sexy cover. I don't tend to do those. I wanted to make sure I got the shadows and the highlights and stuff right. So I was looking at reference photos, and somehow she came out looking like a porn star instead of Alice from the rest of the book because I was too focused on other things and not paying attention to making sure her body shape was exactly the same as it was in the book. So I do apologize for that.
Brian says the stronger she gets, the bigger her boobs get too. Wow, that's dangerous. And then you got some Green Zone in there. What's going on with Green Zone?
This is Green Zone Alpha Files. Alpha is an overarching organization in Green Zone that like keeps an eye on genomes and employs superheroes and stuff.
Okay.
And this is one of their behind the scenes files about one of the characters that has shown up in issue 2 and 3 and caused a lot of commotion. So this is finding out a little bit more behind the scenes stuff about him. There's also the Project Sojourner story where this guy took a test trip to try and travel through the multiverse, and a 30-minute test trip turned into a 3-month run for his life. Gary Feldman, assistant director of the multiverse, is a story I dearly love, and it's fun and exciting, and he has to stop Cthulhu from destroying another universe. Lots of awesome stuff going on.
So it's the ending to Cthulhu Invades, right? That's what happens right after Neverland. It's a continuing story.
It's another version of Cthulhu.
Yeah, you heard it. You heard it here first. All right, so you were at $1,296, 33 backers. Let's try to get you to 34 backers.
That would be awesome.
You did a $1,320. 1,320. All right. Let's go somewhere else. Danny, let's get you on here real quick. Can I get your link in the private chat real quick? Let's get you on here before your wife yells at you.
Absolutely. He's on a time limit.
Because you should be rewarded for not coming on time and leaving before. That's how I do things. Rewarding people.
Don't let me skip the line, man. I'm just hanging out, man.
All right, well, I'm going to do someone before you then, but
Yeah,
put your thing in. We need to get it up there.
I'll drop it in here.
All right. Let's do the RPG. Let's get Ryan up here. Ryan, I don't know what an RPG is.
I don't believe that for a second.
I've never played one in my life, and don't embarrass me in front of my friends.
Well, Travis. So an RPG is a role-playing game like Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, all right.
So, so this is a tabletop role-playing game. It's not one of those nerdy LARPs, because only the worst of people play.
Losers would play LARPs.
So this is a tabletop role-playing game called The Gunbelt, and it is about alien and robot cowboys that ride dinosaurs across an interstellar Wild West.
All right, where do I sign?
Right? It checks a lot of boxes. Strangely, though, the fact that it checks all those boxes is actually the real baffling thing to us. We really thought that it would kind of just explode out the gate, and we're struggling. And since this is a comic book show, I feel like it's okay to say that I think that a lot of the reason we're struggling is because the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles role-playing game dropped. It dropped right after we did, very surprising and unexpectedly. And so that's, you guys know how it is. Sometimes you get outshone by properties that don't actually need the Kickstarter help. But
Yeah.
that is the bane of being an indie creator. So, but we love the game. It's a very simple system that uses just 2 6-sided dice and a character sheet, and it's simple enough that my 14-year-old daughter has been running it as the DM or the tail spinner, the storyteller for a couple of years now. She runs for complete strangers that are adults at conventions. Like, she runs our demos. So
Awesome.
it's very simple, and she runs it better than I do, I think. But yeah, we tried really hard to make a game that both our kids would love and also that we could play with our adult friends. So if you want to have a group of kids just go out and wrangle dinosaurs, they can do that. But if you want to have a game that's gritty and dark and about the greedy corporatocracy that runs the planet, how they're oppressing the people, you can run the Damn the Man story as well. So it's pretty flexible. So
and I will say this, though, I made some jokes. Ryan and I have been role playing for years. He's a great storyteller. He loves great stories and environments.
Thank you.
Before I did this comic thing, I was very active in a very big community with him. And I cannot endorse anybody more than him and his wife on creating this. Love it. I mean, they've done it for 5 years. I've heard about this over and over again. They've said I need to do a comic. They don't realize how many other comics I do, apparently.
Oh no, I realize. I just think you need to do more.
Right.
Just make one of those about this.
Right.
That's all, just one.
Dinosaurs. And I see we already got a backer, which is pretty cool because we're at 106, but we're at 107 now, which is great. Appreciate that.
I told you I was going to check it out. One place.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. If you want to know something fun, the cover of our book is this picture that you're looking at right there with the guy standing next to the T-Rex. And that is actually a drawing of it's a reinterpretation of a photo of my grandfather that was taken in like 1920 at a ranch out west. It was a horse instead of a dinosaur, but I think that's
he wasn't
fun.
Quite that old.
Right. But I think little things like that are fun. I'm sure you guys have stuff like that in your comics too, but it's good stuff.
Well, and what's cool about this campaign too is we'll go over a little bit more detail later, but like you can get, isn't there just like a PDF like Quickstarter pretty cheap, right? For like $1.
Yeah. It's like, well, you can get the Quick Start for free now. We kind of did some pre-funding stretch goals. They're like not stretch, they're like yawn goals. But we did, and one of them was when we got I don't remember if it was like 100 backers or $7,000 or something that we were giving away the Quick Start for free. So you can actually click on that Quick Start image right there, and it'll take you to a Google Drive folder where you can get the Quick Start and play the game for free right now.
Awesome.
I got a question, Ryan.
Sure.
Now, I have actually never played. I've never done an RPG.
Really?
Besides, like, I've actually never done one. And
scared of the devil. That's what it is.
I've always been interested.
You're too busy on TikTok.
Is this no? Not at all. Not at all. But is this something that like a newbie like me would be able to pick up and learn, or is it something like? Does it come with all the rules, or do I need to like have a group of people that know what they're doing to do?
No, it'll come with all the rules. So it'll be a full offset print hardcover book, about 250 pages, which you don't have to read every page of to run. Learn how to run a role-playing game, but it is very, very simple. You have a character sheet that lists your attributes and your skills, and you just roll 2d6. That's 2 6-sided dice, and you add that total to your skill and your attribute. And if you roll higher than a 12, you succeed in whatever you're attempting to do. And it's really that simple. There's some other mechanics in there too, but that is the core mechanic at its heart. So it's
I
simple.
love a simple game that makes it easy to pick up, easy to learn, and I love that. I absolutely adore that.
Are you a role player, Fish?
Oh man, I have been running the same superhero RPG for over 30 years.
Amazing.
And, like my kids grew up playing it. They learned to read and write and do math on dice, and they learned to read because of their character sheets. Like I have been running this thing forever.
That's amazing. What system?
It's a homebrew system. Like, speaking of Turtles and Palladium, like, it's loosely based off of a Heroes Unlimited framework, and then I got rid of everything that like isn't important for your character. So like, we don't roll all the attributes. I just give you bonuses you need for your character. If you're a hacker, you have a bonus to hacking. If you're a big tank, then you get a bonus to damage hand to hand. Like, I don't care what your intelligence is if you're a tank. It's not going to come up. Like, we strip it down to just the basics, and it has been so much fun. And the nice thing, because it's simple and everything's basically on a 20-sided, like, we've been playing at shops and people will walk up and watch for like 5 minutes and then join in and play and have a ball. And
That's awesome.
I love that about it.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
great.
All right, Ryan, you are at 8,184 with 107 backers. I'm going to at least get you at 8,200 with 108.
All right.
But I think we'll do more than that. I have a feeling. I just realized that I didn't back it. Just asked me to back. We're gonna well, that's what I hate about campaigns. Sometimes, like, you see it so much, you think you did it.
Mhm.
If you're backing enough stuff. you know.
You're like, oh yeah, I've been waiting for the Ace Blade for a month. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm excited that it's coming, and then just forget that it got here.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Next up, let's get my boy Aaron on here. Aaron, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
You are, or towards the end, right? You got like 8 days left.
Yeah, about the halfway stage. It was a short campaign. I didn't want it to fall on to like Thanksgiving, so I thought I'll do it 18 days and see how it does.
Well, and you need some money, so let's what can we do?
Back it.
All right, tell us about it, man. Tell us about the Gray Man.
It's a supernatural horror, kind of in vein of The Exorcist, or the kind of exorcism kind of horror movies. Hernan is a great artist, as you can tell by all the pictures and the pages he's done. He's kind of captured the essence of the horror, which I'm trying to go for. So if you're a big horror fan, this is for you.
That's Jesus. He's not supposed to be scary. Nobody told me that.
Well, I asked Hernan to do each cover tells like a little story, and he's done the whole series for free. So I'm like, whoa! I didn't even ask for it. I just kind of gave him little sketches, which I did very, very poorly on paint, and he did it all. So yeah, he's amazing.
And well, we also know that you're from Scotland, so that means you're a better writer than us, because Alan Moore has taught us one thing, that everyone from England is a better writer than the rest of us.
We're not all Shakespeare.
It's the accent.
It's the accent.
If I could write an accent, I'd be rich too.
Are you also a witch? Just asking, because Alan Moore, Grant Morrison, they're witches, and they're from overseas, and they're doing very well. Perhaps your Kickstarter would do better if you became a witch. Have you thought about
Possibly. That? I mean, I'd sell my soul to whoever's listening.
All right, good to know. Good to know.
We get this to $6,000, we'll sell it twice.
Yeah, 666. I want 666.
There we go. There we go.
Just so you know who you sold it to, right?
Oh yes.
But I love Aaron's work. I've backed a few in the past. He's a great guy, great community maker. This is your 10th campaign? Or what number?
No, this is my 6th, I think.
It says 9. It says 9 right here.
Yeah, two didn't fund. Yeah, two didn't fund.
All right.
So it was the first Blood and Fire didn't fund because I was holding a lot back, for the future installments, right. And then obviously talking to the Facebook group where we're in together, everyone just said don't hold back, go all guns blazing. So when I came back, I put all my cards on the table and it did really well.
And Blood and Fire is, people really love that series. I know people really have gelled and melded with that series. I have never understood samurai stuff, but if you like it, Aaron does it. It's good. I'm sure it's an add-on.
Well, you'll hopefully when the back increase, you might get issue 1 as a freebie.
Oh, all right.
Spoilers. Who? I am actually working on a potential sequel to Blood and Fire. Called Ice and Bone. So in the works. So it's all in here at the moment. I've not written anything down, so I'm kind of mulling it over. But hopefully next year I'll start that.
All right. Well, we have a new challenger who entered the room. Let me introduce this gentleman before we go over your numbers. We have the King, Charlie Stickney. How are you?
Hey guys, how's it going tonight? Sorry to interrupt. It sounded like I was hearing a little bit of the pitch from the back room. It sounds like a great book. And so why don't you keep going? I'm glad to be here. And if anyone hasn't backed Aaron's book, now's the time.
Thank you.
we're actually just going over Aaron's numbers. I just shared it through it. So he is at 1,394 with 51 backers. We're going to get you to 52. We're going to get you to that 4K.
Or 666, like we discussed.
Or 666. Whichever comes first, Aaron. How about we go by that?
Okay.
Whichever one comes first.
You never said that.
Well, no, I have a rule. I will not go to bed until all these are taken care of. So everyone will get that problem. So we're not doing that. But back Aaron's stuff, link is shared out to everyone. Everyone should get that link. So next up, let's get Oscar. It's our time. It's our time to shine, Oscar.
Cool.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
So Oscar and I are doing a book together. It's very, very cool. I am part of it. He chose me over all the other more talented writers who submitted. Great. It's probably because I do this show. He's like, I at least can get one backer if I get
one backer guaranteed. Yeah.
When he does that show, we're gonna get
Travis will yell at people until they back. That's
right.
Side.
We got to get him on here. So let's get this. Let's show. Don't push the red button. Tell us about it, Oscar.
Yeah. So if you had the opportunity to push a button and get lots of money, but someone would die, would you do it? So that's the premise of this anthology. I wanted to approach this moral dilemma from different perspectives. We got 11 stories by over 30 creators, 2 covers by Francesca Fantini and Liana Kanga's beautiful covers. And yeah, I think that this book at its core has this element of like this human element of how far would you go to chase your dreams, to accomplish the stuff that you want. And we've got different stories that approach this dilemma from fictional perspectives, human perspectives, fun, like comedy, like drama, also like horror, supernatural stuff. So we have different approaches to the same moral dilemma that ultimately is about the character's decision and the struggle that they have to face when pitting money against human life or life in general, because there's a story that has a goblin in there. So it's money, it's greed, it's having your dreams and against paying the cost of something, and how will that affect your life and the life of others.
Nice. Yeah, it's a really cool anthology. Like you said, I'm in it, which is really cool. I have a story in there, which I am a huge fan of. Also, Dave Stoll, who does Dead Mall, Mario Cantilli does Killcheller. If you're in the comic scene, you definitely know a lot of these people. Marquesiana, Marcuson, that's the way his name is. Ignacio, and Ignacio, who do By the Horns, are there. You know, I've teamed up with them. So a lot of really Maria Curry. So there's a lot of really big names in the indie scene here. And it's chugging right along. You know, we're about halfway funded. So it's, getting where we need to go.
Yeah. We actually just passed 5.5K. So tomorrow I'll publish the last 3 pages of Maya and Francesca's Fantini story. So there's like one complete story ready for backers to check out. And 10 more stories when we fund.
Nice. All right.
It's a good story too. Kyron and I had Oscar on the show.
I talked with you guys.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, and I'm glad to see it's going good. I backed this one also. I think this is this is a great idea. So I'm glad it's going good.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. So let's try to get him to 138. And let's try to get you another $30. So 5,534 gets you to 138. Hopefully more than that is my goal. Like always, I try to pump it up more than that, but that is our goal for tonight. But that is don't push the red button. So you need to get it if you haven't. All right, next up. Oh, we got to share that out. People looking for the links. Hold on. And Joey says we're at 138. Don't spoil it, Joey. That's later in the show. Damn. I don't come to your show, tell you how to run it. Damn, these people, Danny, right? How many people come to your show, Danny? Danny runs his own show and just tell you how to do things.
Every week.
Every week. It's out of control, these people. Show a little respect. Come on. All right. Facebook.
That's my favorite part of the show is giving Danny and Kyron a hard time every Saturday. That's why I get up.
I wasn't going to call any names, but it's definitely Fish is definitely one of them.
Every week. I love it.
All right. All right. So next up on our chart is Mr. Danny Quick. You have you've been doing this book a little bit. You've been doing a few issues.
Hot minute.
Just a hot minute.
Oh yeah.
And you always have to be one more than you have to be under Watson, but then you talk of spin-offs and all the other stuff. You always beat him, right? Is that the plan?
That's the goal. My only goal in comic books is to make one more Ace Blade book than there is a Hot Shot book.
All right,
so
that's good.
I'm still catching up to him now, but I'm trying to get there. So yeah, this is Ace Blade number 7. Cash Rules. This is the second part of the Cash Rules Everything Around Me saga. And, it's all about the frustrations that superheroes might deal with when they can't actually feel like they actually can't help someone. So, Ace Blade doesn't have any superpowers, but, he's fighting against a system, not just supervillains, but a whole system of, politicians and the media and, capitalism and all of that good stuff. And, he feels helpless at this point and he's ridiculously frustrated. So he's it's kind of making him less Batman and more Punisher as a vigilante. And, he's trying to find that balance between exacting justice and, taking out his anger on people as a superhero. So that's where we are with Ace Blade right now.
I have to say, I'm loving the model. The model looks
awesome.
Oh
Man!
Oh yeah, thank you.
That looks awesome.
We finally got a little action figure. Well, it's a little statue, but we were able to offer 10 of those, and they went quickly. So I think that's something we're going to bring back in the future too.
So a question for you, because it's not on the top, and maybe this is a mistake. Can you get the prior issues? It says only 7.
Absolutely. All 7 issues are available, as add-ons. Okay. All 6 previous issues are available as add-ons. All physical and digital are on there. And then there are some of the bundles like that one right there. You can get, all the physical issues there also. So if you have Ace Blade 1 and 2 already, you can get 3 through 6, or if you got everything up till now, you can just get this one. So
what I would do, one of my recommendations, good sir, not that this was for, but put that right up here. Ace Blade get 1 through 7 to make sure that people know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I will do that.
So that's it's always a good little tip that I give people when we do things.
Oh yeah.
I think Charlie may have taught me that tip. I'm not sure. Charlie, did you teach me that?
I don't know. Maybe.
Take credit.
Sure.
take that credit.
I know Tyler James at one point was using saying that I had taught him that. So I don't know. Like at the end of the day, I think the best thing about Kickstarter and the comics community in general is that we're there for each other. And so if you see something that's working, to me, it's not as important about who came up with it. It's just as much as like that everyone knows these are good tools that can help you grow. And that the big difference between Kickstarter and say the direct market is if you walk into the direct market and you just see issue 3 on the shelf, you're probably not going to pick it up because, issues 1 and 2 are going to be hard to track down, especially if it's an indie. But Kickstarter gives you the ability to always give a new reader a chance to catch up. And I think that's why it's a great place for independent comics. So advertising that particular thing in the title of your product, if you're doing a serialized book like Ace Blade or I do, or some of the other people do, it just reminds them, oh, I'm new to this. Everything's there for me. So, I think that just sort of helps people get over that initial hurdle.
Yeah, I kind of usually, if I'm doing a series like an Enra is ongoing, I'll use like issue 1 sometimes as a freebie to other campaigns to spread the word, or have it really cheap as like a new fan, $2-3, so they can use that one and then maybe come back later in the series.
I love it. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. But as Charlie said, he came up with it, and everyone prior to that was dumb. I know he said it in different ways, but that's basically what he said.
That's what I heard. Anyway.
It's good to know Charlie represents and helps us all out. But all right, so you were at Ace Blade is here at what do we got here? $5,529. Which is funded. When we started this earlier, you weren't funded earlier this week, right? We
just got funded this morning, as a matter of fact.
Nice.
Just crossover goal this morning. And I'm always scared to say that we're funded because people start, maybe I don't actually want the book though.
Or maybe I don't need that add-on now that you got it.
Right.
Danny don't need my money. He's funded.
Right. People start dropping pledges and everything. But, yes, we finally crossed over, 5,500. And, I'm happy. I'm very happy about it. This has been a stressful campaign. And all of those followers on TikTok that you were talking about, a few of them came over, but it's been a struggle. So, it's just been I'm as frustrated as Ace Blade right now. So I'm so happy to actually be funded for sure.
So I'm so confused. So someone gave you more money, but your backers didn't. Oh, you got a new backer. All right. So now
there we go.
You messed up my whole thing. I have a paper thing. Whoever did that. All right. So now I got to write it down. It's now 5,554. With 142 backers. Now we're going to get you to 143, and we're going to get you at 570.
I love it. Love it.
Guys, you guys are messing up my whole. I have a firm, sophisticated system that goes on a piece of paper that just it's very sophisticated. You can't mess it up.
It's an analog tracking system, and there's always
get out there and back the books. Who backed the book and messed up my paper?
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, Travis, are you asking for someone to cancel their pledge? Because that's what I'm hearing.
No, he's not. He's not.
Sorry, Ryan. I don't want to mess up his paper.
He's not asking for that.
I'm just saying it would be nice, Charlie. That's just what I'm saying. I'm not asking for it, but if all right, so that's been shared out to everybody. Let's get you off. And you saw Miss Marvel. People are giving her rave reviews. You are the king of TikTok. Where are you at?
My wife and I really enjoyed it. It was a very fun movie. I'm not gonna say it's not the best movie in the world, but I really enjoyed sitting there the whole hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And Iman, what is her name? The young actress who plays Miss Marvel is absolutely a star. I'll just say that. So I would recommend people to go see it. I think you can have a fun time seeing it. And then I won't spoil the post-credit scene, but definitely go. Definitely go.
So they do post-credit scenes in Marvel? That's interesting.
I think they started it recently. I think they just started it.
At some point,
phase 4.
Charlie reached out to them and said, if you want a successful film, you need to have these stingers at the end.
Actually, I actually saw his name in the credits for this one. So they're finally giving you the credit there, Charlie.
I mean, I told Kevin if he didn't sort of throw it my way, we were going to have come to blows. So
There you go.
we're good now.
I can't tell you why, because I will get in trouble, and not that they would do it, but I do something film related as a kind of side hustle. And I almost, and this is a true statement, almost was told I couldn't do that because I was friends with Charlie. So, I mean, Charlie is a big deal. You're making jokes, but I almost lost the gig because I talked to Charlie.
Oh, wow.
Because this company calls me and asks me questions sometimes. They're like, have you talked to anybody about film? I was like, yeah, me and my buddy Charlie were talking the other day. And they were
So
just
the
like,
moral
you can't
is-
talk to Charlie.
Yeah, don't talk to me. Okay. Good night, everyone. It was nice talking to you.
Charlie,
It's like Fight Club. You don't talk about it.
sure. Brian wants to know for you, Danny. Can I ask you need to see the TV show before seeing the movie, Danny?
Ooh, I think it helps, but it's not necessary. I think they did a good job. It's not necessary. It does help, but it's not necessary at all.
So next up, we have a campaign that's really struggling right now, and so we really need to be serious for a minute. Are you leaving, Danny?
I gotta get out of here. Yeah, but I do appreciate y'all. Please send me all the links because I'm backing everybody who I haven't backed already. I'm backing everybody.
All right.
Please send me all those. Thank y'all.
Nice meeting
That
you,
we
Danny.
can do. That we can do. And since I promised everybody one backer, good night. Thank you guys so much. All right, let's get to this campaign. I got to get serious for a little bit. Galarian has been struggling. Get Charlie's campaign. It is doing rough. So, Charlie, what can we do to help you with this campaign that's struggling?
Oh man.
Jesus. Yeah, struggling like hell.
You know what? I am just glad to be here. I think it's, again, going back to the communal aspect of Kickstarter. I do try to back as many projects as I can. I try to be on different shows, so hopefully my fan base will come and find your shows. I love the fact that if you follow someone on Kickstarter, even though it's kind of annoying when after they back a lot of things that all that stuff pops up, it does though get it on other people's radar. So I find that for me to back other projects helps other projects beyond just like that money that I put into it. But I just love that, again, that communal aspect of Kickstarter, and I'm very fortunate. I mean, I have a huge fan base that continues to get bigger because of Kickstarter and because of the creator community. So anything I can do to sort of give back to that. If you don't know Galarian, if you don't know White Ash, it's a grounded fantasy universe. White Ash is more Romeo and Juliet meets Lord of the Rings in rural Pennsylvania. And Galarian is our slightly more Games of Thrones-y, high fantasy, more R-rated spin-off. That's more Red Sonja meets Taxi Driver, because it's the origin story of the world's most dangerous elf, as told through the eyes of a young woman in 1970s New York who's having visions of being this elf warrior from 3,000 years ago. And over the course of this miniseries, those two stories will come together. You'll see how the women are connected, and it'll eventually pay off a big piece of the past of White Ash because it's one giant interconnected universe. So that's that's what I'm doing here. And I work with some incredible artists. Romano Morinelli does most of the artwork for Galarian. That cover piece is by Mariana Ignazzi. I think that's, again, butchering names. What do you like? That's the hard part, I think, for a lot of us when you're working with all these international artists. You have a really good email relationship, but you have no idea how to pronounce their names. But she's great. She's working on Buffy, and if you have the name Fish, I can pronounce that.
You would be surprised how often people mess that up. But like I had to message my flatter in the Philippines and have her send me audio of her saying her last name so I could learn how to say it correctly when I shout out Shane Kui is an amazing flatter. You should go check her out if you need one. And now I know how to say her name correctly because it's tough.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate you saying that because she's also my flatter, and I didn't know how to say her name until just now. So thank you.
I absolutely love her, and I shout her out all the time. She's great.
Did you say Shang-Chi, like from Mortal Kombat? Like
no, Shane Kui. CUI.
Yeah, and so yeah, like I totally agree. I've actually sat in on a couple of podcasts that I knew artists I was working with were on, so I could see someone else butcher their name and get corrected. So if I ever had to talk to them, I know how to say Anna Morozova. See, now I have to go listen to the podcast again. But at the end of the day, it's like the internet's out there. Use it, and if it's if you can't find it, just apologize. And I'm sorry. I love all the artists I work with. And if I ever spend time with them in person, I know I will have those names down. So.
And I absolutely love this book, especially speaking of Ryan. This book is right up Carrie's wheelhouse, White Ash and Galarian. She would love it. Lots of fighting, but what's more important is the story behind the people and why they're doing things, which is the stuff that she loves, from what I remember. So very, very cool stuff. And I don't know if I've told you this, Charlie. Galarian is actually has taken. I'm the game's #1 fan. Galarian has taken the #2 spot recently for me. Just because I'm so interested in the subplot of how these two are connected. Until White Ash really grabs me back in. Galarian's #2 right now.
I am loving telling this story. I love telling stories on Kickstarter because you never have to be sort of confined by the 22 page count if you don't want to. Yeah. So this next issue is another 44-page issue, which gives me plenty of room to sort of go back between those two time periods. And as you can see from that cover, in this issue in particular, we're really starting to sort of merge the two timelines a little bit. So I'm having a blast writing it, and people really do seem to enjoy the book. So, I mean, that's, I think, what we're all looking for. We're hoping to create things that resonate and find an audience, and, that we're able to afford to keep doing.
Have you declared that this has an ending? It's 4?
This is a 5-issue miniseries, but that's not the end of the Galarian stories we're telling.
Sure.
Like in addition to this, we have a hardcover that has 8 short Galarian stories called Galarian Short and Deadly, that you can get as part of one of the tiers. And then I have 2 other Galarian projects that are in the works right now in addition to this. White Ash is a big, roughly 60-issue series, and we're using a lot of these spin-offs to sort of fill in some of the backstory and help flesh that story out even further.
Oh, that's really awesome. Like I said, I love Galarian. I love having you on, though I may make a lot of fun. Charlie's one of my good friends in comics. We talk probably daily about something, so I love having you on. I love you being part of the community and a leader in this community. You're
and my goal is to talk to you enough so you can't have any jobs.
Right. You want that summer job at UPS? I know the guy.
I know people.
Grats on the end of the strikes. I knew you were active in both on all that, so that's cool. So the strikes are kind of done, maybe for the second one.
At least for now. IATSE is going to have a new contract soon, so I do love that also about LA, that it is a union town, so everyone is there for each other as well.
All right, so this has been shared out. Oh, we got some comments. My White Ash books just arrived the other day. Exciting to start that journey. You are making a good call, Ronan. I am actually shocked that you, being so active in the community and sharing stuff on Twitter, that you have not read White Ash. That is wild to me.
Wild. I think at the end of the day, we all want our books to find the audience that appreciates them. So I never want someone picking up my books that they don't think it's their thing. So, if this looks like it's something for you, check it out. If it's not, there are great books here in the chat. I hope everyone's backing everything that people are talking about tonight. I know I will. If I have not already backed.
All right. So I got you at 46,659 with 1,273 backers. I'm going to get you at 46,670 with 1,275 backers. Lots of numbers there. So, all right. There is that. So that is our main campaigns. I have one more that I have to share, but you don't have to spend money on it. You don't have to spend money. Um, let me show you what I got here. Next week, finally, I am going to be launching my core title, the title that I think I'm most known for, if it's not Cthulhu, and that is Granite State Punk. Granite State
Oh
Punk
yeah.
is going to be live. I know it's my favorite. It's a lot of people's favorite. And I can honestly say that this is the best thing I've ever written. It is. It is. I know we're most right to say that about the next thing always, but this is a thing. So all I need is a couple more people to follow that, so you can be aware of it next week. Cost you nothing. Just click the link and follow it. Hopefully, back it when it comes out. If you don't, I won't know. Kickstarter doesn't give me that information, so you're lucky. But yeah, it is really, really good. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and open a couple of pages here to show you. Like, it is really, really, really good. I'm so excited for it. Just a second. So, and then we're gonna go over all the campaigns. Make sure I kept my promises. Mark you off the list. See who can go home. See who can't. All that jazz. Let's open this up. Sorry for the delay. Delay of game. Car. No one. Okay. All right. Yeah, here we got some pages. Can you guys see that? Yeah, there we go. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger. That did not make it bigger. All right, that's what we're going to do. But we got some cool stuff. We go back to New Hampshire. Is it clicking? Yeah, it's clicking. Go back to New Hampshire. We have some very cool shots here. We got a cool deer. We got a dope-ass accident. Because in New Hampshire, you may not know this about New Hampshire. Charlie was just there. You do not have to wear a seatbelt if you do not want to. Live free or die. Those are your options. And they mean that literally. So those are your choices. So it's really, really cool. We meet the Coven. The Coven is these couple of characters right here. We have not seen those characters before. We see how they connect to young Zeke. We've seen a young Zeke before, but this is a different one. And we'll explain what that means and why when you read this. It is so fun. So happy.
Travis, can I just jump in real quick and say that I love the coloring on this. It looks awesome. It's a great style.
Yeah, this is the first comic. I say it in a lot of interviews. It's the first comic that I actually like. This is the guy I wanted, right? There was no, he's the guy who I hunted down and like, you are who I want to draw this. A lot of people settled with this or what I could afford, but this is the guy is, whatever you cost, I'm going to pay it. And I think it's paid dividends and I love it. Brian says, young Zeke looks like an intense ball of fiery chaos. He absolutely is. I wanted to do, so we've had young Zeke in the past. I'll spoil a little bit just because I want to. Young Zeke that we've seen before is kind of Zeke that he believes. This is how he remembers his young self, because we always remember ourselves with like glass half full versus this Zeke who is actually who he was at the time. So we have the two and they come to heads, and I think it's going to be fun. And eventually we'll have all these different versions of him talking to himself, because you can do that in comics, because comics are the best medium. So let's go through this list again. We're going to start at the top, see if we got everybody. We started with the quest. We're going to look at your stuff and see where you're at. Scott, are you still with us? You haven't talked in a while.
Still there. I'm just absorbing all the knowledge from everyone else.
All the knowledge. So Scott, let's see if I've kept my promise to you. Have I ever let you down before, Scott?
No, not at all.
That's good. I'm sure I've let a lot of people. Ryan cannot say the same, so I just wanted to make sure where we're at with everybody before I do this. All right, so I promised you. We promised you. We are not. Well, yeah, we're over there. So I promised you. We start at 2,565 with 101. And we promised you 2,585, 102. A couple bucks over what I promised you, but I'm still going to share this out. See if we can get some more. But we've got you that one backer. So you're on there. You're a little bit closer to hitting your goal. You want to talk about it one more time?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is a real passion project for me. I love fantasy. It was sort of the first comics that I read getting into comics. It was like Warlord and the Walt Simonson Thor run was just coming out when I was getting into comics, and I love D&D and just everything about fantasy. So this is sort of a story that I've always wanted to tell. I started working on the story and the characters actually back in the 90s, and they sort of evolved over the years, and I finally gotten to the point where I'm ready to tell the story. There's a lot of really cool, I love doing different variant covers. One thing I'll mention when we're talking about variant covers earlier is I like to do series of variant covers. So I have certain covers where every issue will have a variant cover in the series. So like the tabletop ones that look like the modules, every issue in the series is going to have one of those. And I've done that before on series like Crime Busters. And there's people that will collect the whole series and they'll just buy the type of variant cover that they like, so they can sort of have a uniform sort of thing. And a lot of the variant covers that I do are just things that I want for my own collection. I always think, if you're making something that you want for yourself, then other people will want it as well. And that's kind of the whole idea behind Quest. It's the story that I want to read. And so I'm sort of making it for myself, and hopefully other people that like the same sort of things that I like will also like it.
So explain the vest, the V.
Yeah, so Vess is the main character. She's a paladin, and so you'll see her on most of the covers. And she was actually a character that I started playing. Vess is the character that I play when I play like MMOs, and I've been playing a version of her since the mid 90s in all the games. I always play a paladin, and so it's sort of like created the character by being the character in a weird way over the years. Figure out like how she thinks and works through that process.
Okay. Nice. All right. I'm messaging Danny Quick right now. Make sure he gets his back in. Because I'm going to hold him to that. So if Danny Quick doesn't back you, message me privately. We'll make sure we get.
I want to say I actually got 2 backers during this, but I had someone else cancel, so it looks like you only got 1, but I did get 2.
Son of a. All right. Well, we'll get you there. I think you'll get there. You got 3 days to go. You got a big push. I'll make sure I share it out on my personal page. If you guys are watching this and you see that, please share it out real quick. It's only 400. What is that? 700, right?
700, yeah.
700 to go. Very doable. Let's get him taken care of. And he says he's from Boston, so he's New England. So I respect that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, when you're talking about New Hampshire, it's not really live free or die. It's more live free and or die.
Right. All right. So I'm going to mark Quest off my list because I have completed my goal. So that, all right. We're going to show Fish and his lewd comic book.
Well, there's 3. One's kid friendly. The other 2 are a little heavier. My best review of Caw I've gotten so far, the first issue, was like R-rated Saturday morning cartoons. And I absolutely included that in my pitch from then on.
It felt like a heavy metal issue, like the heavy metal movie. It felt a little bit like that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So we were at 1,296 with 33 backers. I promise you 1 backer, 1,030, 20. We got you $2 more and 1 backer, but we're going to get this shared out and we want to talk about it more.
Yeah, I've got 3 awesome new books out that are done. I've got like the actual printed copies here with me. Caw is a science fiction fantasy story about an alien bird barbarian from across the galaxy. Accidentally started a slave rebellion on his home world, and when the rulers of the planet couldn't beat him, they hired space pirates to carry him off world, and that turned out to be a really bad move for the pirates, and he's been killing his way across the galaxy. And in this issue, we find out what happens at the end of that trip, and very exciting. They unleashed the hellhounds of hyperspace on him in this issue. Then there's Fish Tales Volume 1, which is a new anthology book I'm starting, which gives me a place to tell all kinds of cool stories. And one of them is the cover you see in the middle there with Alice Lost in Wonderland. And it's a fully grown Alice that's been lost in this interdimensional rift her entire life. And she's got a guardian sidekick, ancient clockwork man called Big Ten that follows her around and protects her. And she has become like a hunter in Wonderland, and she solves problems for money. And along with many other stories, there's stories that tell you background information about characters from Green Zone. There's interdimensional travel stories in Project Sojourner. There is Gary Feldman, assistant district manager of the multiverse, who is trying to stop Cthulhu from destroying another universe. Lots of cool stuff in that book. And then I have remastered my very first book from 5 years ago, T-Man and Hyperstrike, and I'm coloring the entire thing. I'm adding new pages of artwork. I've relettered the whole book, and it's coming out absolutely beautifully. It's going to finally get the full ending that I wanted to give it, not being concerned by costs and page count with my first book. And I've got, fan letters from kids around the world and fan art and stuff to put in there and share, and it's going to be really cool.
And that hairstyle on Hyperstrike is something special. That's something special.
I was purely thinking, like, what would happen if you're constantly racing around in the wind? And that's what I came up with. But it surprises me that it is still my bestseller everywhere I go. I forget to everybody else it's not a 5-year-old book, but it still outsells everything every show I go to, and people love it. I expected it to be a hit in the Tourette's community. I did not expect it to be such a big hit at like regular Comic Cons. But
all right. Well, I shared it out. Make sure you back it if you have not. I am going to also mark you off my list. We got you where you needed to go. Got to talk about it. Got to promote it. Get you done. Now we got Oscar. My boy Oscar here. Let's see where you're at, my friend. All right. How's things in Peru?
Cool. It's cool here.
Do you feel differently about the Beatles song since last we spoke?
No, not really.
Not really. Okay.
I'll give it a listen maybe later.
All right. I want to see if anything has changed. So let's get it. All right. So you were at 5,504 with 137 backers. You were at 5,504 with 137 backers. So what that means, Oscar, and everybody, you guys got to take a minute, and I've got to handle something real quick, just on my own. All right. You're seeing this. Somehow someone shared this to you, and you're embarrassing me. All right. Look, this guy came on my program. He's from Peru. I don't even know what time it is there. I assume it's 1 a.m. He needs to go to bed. He's very stressed out. I promised him a backer, and I haven't got it. And you're fucking embarrassing me, guys. Like, seriously. So we need to don't push the red button one back. I know I'm in it. I know you guys probably already backed it, but somebody out there, somebody on the internet doesn't have it. So we need to give it a little bit of fucking cash so we can help go stuff, and then we can go to bed. I can go to bed. Everyone will be happy. Everyone on this panel, they don't want to talk to me. No one wants to be here. So let's let everyone go to bed. I'll even hang on a little bit after. We'll shoot the shit. We'll talk about some stuff. But help us out. Back to the red button. Sorry about that, Oscar. If you could go ahead and share the campaign a little bit, talk about it, that'd be great.
Yeah, of course. So Don't Push the Red Button is a 100-page anthology that explores the moral dilemma. If you had the opportunity to push a button and get lots of money, but someone needs to die, would you do it? So we're going from different perspectives and genres, 11 different stories by over 30 creators from the indie comic books community. And yeah, our goal with this campaign is to explore this dilemma of money versus life, especially in this world that usually prioritizes money over human life. So we wanted to give these characters the opportunity to take the matter to their own hands and have this opportunity to get lots of money, but they need to kill someone by pushing a button. So it's like this dilemma. My idea is for people to start thinking about it, and if you had this opportunity, and reflect on your own lives. Like, are you prioritizing money? Do you need to care about the other people in your lives? So yeah, it will make you think, but it also has tons of fun characters that will also struggle with this decision. And yeah, lots of story to choose from. You have like 5 pages that are going to be 8 tomorrow of 3 pages, free story, 2 covers, and yeah, lots of fun here.
Well, and one of the things I want to say too, you went to New York Comic Con and stood in lines and met a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people who are part of this community to share about this, which I think is great, which is really, really good. So
yeah, I have my bottle here with me. so yeah, I was at New York Comic Con standing and just with the button, not saying a word, just waiting for people. I knew someone would come, and 100 people approached me, pushed the button, and we took some pictures. We had fun promoting the campaign, and yeah, it was great. I think that this is one of those books that people immediately understand. Like, you see someone at the Comic Con with a button, and you know that you need to go and push it, and no one will say anything. And they push it, they have fun. The button said, "Congratulations, someone just died," as a reference to what was happening in the anthology. Some people were surprised, confused, sad, and there was a lot of happiness, more than expected. But it was tons of fun, like doing this kind of promotion for this book.
Yeah, and I'll because Joey asked, I'll share about my story, and I'm gonna pick on Ryan a little bit. Ryan, you've known me longer than everybody else in this room, and you've seen me go through several relationships. I handle breakups very well, don't I, Ryan?
I mean, you once brought a gun to a place that we were at. It was not you. It was not you. I kid.
So I don't handle breakups very well. Most of you guys have seen me very happily married for the last 7 years with my wife, and I'm never leaving her. And if something ever happens between us, I don't care what I say on Facebook. It is my fault. Okay? I don't care what I told you. I don't care what the story. Believe me now, not then. Like, future Travis is a liar. He is lying to you. I don't handle them very well. So I have a story in this called Ex-Wives of Marcia Tanner. And I think that's right. Yeah, Marcia Tanner. And it's about Marcia Tanner. He has ex-wives. He has 4 of them, and each of them have kind of messed up his life, very similar to mine. And he has to decide whether or not he can get rid of one of them and stop paying the alimony, because all of them, he used to be a millionaire, and now he's lost it all to his 4 wives. And he can kill one, getting some of his money back, and whether or not he chooses to do so. And it talks about, what it's like to be in bad breakups, because I've had some experience in that. All right, back to the top, though. We got you that backer, my friend, but we're a little short on the money, so I'm going to keep you around. I'm not going to mark you off yet, but we got you that backer. We're going to come back to you, okay, Oscar?
Cool. Thank you.
All right, now we're going to travel to far. Who'd we lose? Oh, Danny. Now we're going to travel to far off lands. Charlie, you weren't here for Ryan's speech, so I'm going to have to educate you a little bit. Are you familiar with a role-playing game?
The concept of role-playing games?
Right. Do you know what they are? Because we don't normally have them on the show. I want to make sure.
Yeah. It's like when you need to spice up your marriage.
Like you dress up like a nurse.
The UPS driver, right? Yeah. Okay.
You roll fuzzy dice.
Yeah, I totally have it. Yes. Okay.
Got it. All right, cool. So you're good. You're good. All right, Ryan, tell us about that kind of role playing we got here. This is the gun belt. This is the extra.
Right. So this is the Gun Belt. It is a tabletop role-playing game that's about alien and robot cowboys that ride dinosaurs across an interstellar Wild West. That's like the super elevator pitch. But the theme of the game is this idea that people are stronger when they work together, when they are faced with oppression and hardships. And so The game is about this planet called Weston, but everybody who lives there just calls it Hell. And it is ruled by an evil, greedy corporatocracy called Levicor. And Levicor's primary their primary source of money is they mine a mineral called levitite. And levitite is this mysterious mineral that floats, it levitates. So not only is Hell a difficult, harsh landscape to live on, and the government is trying to screw you, but also it's a world without wheels. Everything floats. So the dinosaurs are pulling stagecoaches that float. The your bandits are riding dinosaurs to rob levitrains, and it's a lot of fun, and it draws a lot on the sort of oppression and the hardships that happened in company towns during the Appalachian area of America during like the early 1900s in coal mining towns where the company town, it was a company town and it was run by the company, and that's kind of how this stuff was. This is a corporate planet. So, and it's a lot of fun. It's a really simple game. My 14-year-old runs demos of it at conventions for complete strangers, and the strangers who are adults, they play with her and they love it. And it's not just because she's adorable. She actually just runs a really great game. And if you ever get her as a storyteller, make sure she runs her adventure that's got the old lady in it, because she does this fantastic old lady voice.
Nice. Actually, you know what, Ryan? Message me tomorrow, and I think I have 2 stores that may be interested in this. I saw your retail tier. It's not that expensive.
Yeah.
It's $120 for $4. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, what I've learned is that the retail stores really need it at half off for them to make
pretty much cost.
Yeah. So and I'm willing to eat a little bit on the retail stores if it gets it out there, because if it gets it out there, then more people are going to have fun and enjoy the thing that I created. And as you all know, sometimes while the money is necessary and nice, there is also reward in seeing that other people love the thing that you made. And so.
Nice. Well, when we started this, you were at 8,184 with 107 backers. You are at 109.
Woo!
With 8,252, and I promise you that's $52 more than I promised you. So
wow,
that's great.
Score.
It looks like RPGs can work on here. So I guess if you have an RPG and you know me and you're my friend, because that's the only way I'd let you on the show, you can come on. And not because of RPGs, I just random people doing RPGs. That's probably not going to work for me.
Sure. Well, I'm gonna make sure I'll do an update to all of my backers tomorrow, and I'm gonna share links to everything that all of you guys who have been on here have done too. And because I do think there's a lot of overlap in our fan communities. I think a lot of gamers read comic books and vice versa. So
Yes, absolutely. All right, Aaron.
Hello.
So I know you've been in Kentucky for a while.
Yes.
But
about 3 years now.
About 3 years.
Yeah.
Are you still on Scotland time?
I'm never leave Scotland time.
Okay. You're always on Scotland time. All right. Are you set? Like, if you were in Scotland, would you be going to Thought Bubble this weekend? Or is that not something you've ever done?
No, it's not something I've ever done.
Okay.
I'd like to, but it's always the way that when you leave somewhere, it's like, oh, I wish I'd done that.
Or I wish I knew about that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've never heard of it before until I came here and like, what? Why didn't I know this while I was there?
And based on the people I know, it's mostly Americans there from what I can tell. All the Americans and John Lee. John Lee just sitting there going, hi. All right, let's get your stuff. Let's get the gray man up here. So, when we last spoke, you were at 1394 with 51 backers. You, I promised we'd get you to 52.
666.
And 1422. Looks like we got you 2 backers there, and you moved up quite a bit there. So let's see.
Thank you very much.
So tell us about this. One more time.
This is a science. It's not science fiction. Supernatural horror. So if you like exorcisms, The Exorcist, kind of all horror kind of genres, then you'll love this. It follows a local sheriff in a little podunk town who gets contacted by his dispatch to a local farm, and it's like his best friend is like godson to the farmer's son, and he gets there and it's just chaos, blood everywhere, and he starts to investigate it. And during the storyline, it kind of leads to the Vatican and the kind of the rites of exorcisms, and it's full on horror. So I'm hoping to scare the shit out of everybody.
Nice, that's nice. And like this is the first issue you can get on right at the beginning, which I think is super important. Let's share it out. But I can mark you off my list, which is very cool. I like doing that.
Thank you very much.
No problem. No problem. So share all that out to the stuff. I love Rock's art. I haven't seen it in a couple of years but it looks really good, and he does excel in black and white. Even the story that I have with him is only slight color. He excels.
Yeah, I try to keep it black and white purely for the horror themes. The shadows and the entities that will pop in and out. So yeah, he's doing I couldn't ask for any more, really. He's doing a kick-ass job.
Oh, Danny Quick's been thumb upping all these projects, so hopefully you're all getting backers, because I keep messaging Danny Quick with all of them. So it's on my list. It's funny, I have all these different places I got to send it. So he better be backing them all.
He's probably still waiting for his wife to get out of the shower.
All right. And Charlie, let's check Ace Blade. Even though he's not here, let's check it out. See if I've hit my goal here. Well, hold on. Sorry. Jumping ahead. I'm getting excited. Got my list. Got Greyman. Got it off the list. This is a very sophisticated system, as you guys know. Got to make sure it all goes as planned. All right. Ace Blade up. Let's take a look at it real quick. It's a question for Charlie, because you've been doing this as long. A few of you, actually. This is a question for everybody. Do you guys remember Ace Blade being the one comic when you first started in the scene that you heard a lot about? He's always done such a great job of making sure you know about his comic.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I've heard of the book before, but now I've backed it. So.
Oh, you've never backed it? Okay.
That's how I got to know Danny, because he was always out there hustling it on Facebook before he got on TikTok, and I just kept seeing him on stuff, and I have finally had to buy it and check it out, and I've backed everything since, and actually become friends since then. But it was him hustling that got me to pay attention.
Yeah, no, the guy works really hard. So he is still where he's at by the looks of it. Let me refresh to make sure.
Only problem is I can't go back it again.
That's it. All right, so
I was trying to get that first slot for that figure, man.
Did you get something special if you got the first slot, or?
Oh yeah, you got one of the limited edition statues for the first backer slot, and man, I got sniped.
At any level?
No, for just the first backer on the campaign.
Nice. That's wild. All right, so let's share out. Ace Blade is a very cool comic. Lots of stuff on it. He hangs around Vegas, and he is like a vigilante assassin. But he's never what you think. The stories are always very interesting. He kind of zigs and zags. That's probably pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say, Fish? He doesn't do straight up. He's willing to make a deal and not always just beat the bad guys, which is weird. So,
And sometimes he'll take a beating, and I've really enjoyed it. I mean, it's kind of fun to watch somebody starting from the ground up, and he's starting from nothing as a hero, and you watch him grow as it goes. And now you're getting to see how frustrated he's getting with, how far the deck is stacked against us. And I'm a big fan. I'm on board all the way.
And if you go to where he lives, he actually has, believe it or not, a comic shop that has a escape room based on this character, which is wild. That's so wild. But we'll come back to that. We'll get it. I haven't backed it yet, so I can handle that. And then Galarian. Let's see.
But before we get there, I do want to say I appreciate you having me on as the token clean-shaven person. So so sometimes it's like we need to be represented. So I appreciate that you're willing to do that for me.
I shaved right before we got here. What are you talking about?
But like Charlie, but why? Beards are cool. But why?
No. I mean, like I agree, and I feel depending on how long it takes to get that last backer for Ace Blade, I may be joining you with a little stubble, but So.
Yeah, no, I understand. But do you have to most people in only the actors in New York are clean shaven, so why are not clean shaven, meaning do you have to? Is it an LA thing? You have to,
It's a I want to stay married thing.
Oh, she does.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
Yeah, my ex didn't like it when I grew the beard out. And her being an ex is not the worst thing that happened.
No, this is all making sense. So that's why you write about dwarfs. You just needed to get it out of your system.
That's right. We project those things that we want to be onto other things. So,
right, that makes sense. All right, White Ash, literally one of my favorite comic books. Not just on Kickstarter, but in general. We have Galarian here. You've got a couple of backers since last time we were here. I promised you to get you to 1275. You're at 1278, so you're doing great there. But tell us about Galarian and where we take it in this fourth issue.
It's the third, but it feels like it's four because we had a 40-page issue, a 32-page issue, and a 44-page issue. So it's a lot of ground that's been covered in three. Galarian, for those of you just turning in, it's the origin story of the world's most dangerous elf, as told through the eyes of a young woman in 1970s New York who's having visions of being this elf warrior from 3,000 years ago. Over the course of the series, those two stories come together. You see how the women are connected, and also pays off a piece of the past of White Ash. I like to say it's Red Sonja meets Taxi Driver, but with elves and demons. And so, yeah, just grounded fantasy that's both set in New York and also 3,000 years ago in Elfheim.
Random question for you. The Galarian Short and Deadly, was there a softcover version of that?
No, there was no softcover. We had,
I must have a hardcover then.
It has not mailed out yet. Just like it's.
Oh, okay. All right. There we go.
You may be getting it. It has been a journey. This was one of those things that was sent to print in July. And, then we had to move it from one country to another because the first country did not like some of the spicier content in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it ended up in Taiwan. And then it came and hit the ports in LA like 3 weeks ago. And then they flagged it for X-raying. So I really wanted this to be mailed out before this campaign launched, but just things happened. And I'm hoping to get 3,000 copies of this book showing up at my place very soon. And I'm probably going to throw out my back because of the 40-pound boxes that I'll be moving a lot of. So
nice. But you said maybe I read the digital because I remember there's the big orc, right?
Yeah. I always send out the digitals as soon as they're done, so the book is done. And then you roll the dice on the printing gods. I think we've all been there.
No, absolutely. Well, but yeah, I love everything in this universe.
And I will say that one more thing that we have been doing. Connor Hughes, who I work with, who I believe is going to be on your Level Up show
on Monday.
Who's been doing cover work for Skybound, doing both Walking Dead and Void Rivals. Who is the artist of White Ash? He is coming to LA Comic-Con. And so we are putting some of his sketch cover slots out through the Kickstarter campaign. This morning we released 2 of them. They went very quickly. We'll be doing another 2 tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. EST. So if you like Connor's work and you want one of his sketch covers, be ready with a quick trigger because those went in a minute this morning.
And I assume you got to back the campaign so you can see the back end.
Yeah. But I mean, like if you just want one of his things, you can back for $1 and then just pick up the thing as an add-on.
Right. Sure. I'm super excited to talk to him. He's very nervous to talk to me, but I'm super excited to talk to him.
He's a very funny guy. I think he's nervous that he's not as funny as he is, but he's very funny. Unlike us who are writers who think we are funnier than we are.
That is true. I am nearly as funny as I think I am.
Yeah. Our artists are humble and go the other way. They're smart that way. But
see, that's my problem. I do both. I'm funny as hell and arrogant, so it doesn't work.
Thank you, Brian. But yeah, no. But Connor is he is the secret sauce to so much of what I do. He's an incredibly talented artist and a wonderful human being. And I think for all of us, that's what we're looking for. And I think Travis, you're finding that now with Granite State. Like, if you find an artist who gets what you do and just makes you look so much better. It's just a wonderful experience. And, I guess for you, Fish, when you can make yourself look better from yourself,
well, I do client work too, but like I'm doing so many of my own books now, I'm getting more of the freedom to pick the jobs I want to do rather than just, I have to take the next thing because I got to pay the bills. And it's so great. Like you said, like when our imaginations are running in the same line and we've got the same vision, we can get so much further together than either one could get on our own that I love a good collaboration.
Yeah. And that's the magic of comics, right? I mean, I think for all of us who really love this medium, that's the thing. I mean, it's the synthesis of two people, two minds or more when you have great colorists or great letterers, like all these collaborators coming together to create this amazing thing. And again, thank you, Brian. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. No, I think, it's really funny for Patrick. I was sitting on the couch last night and he sent me a page and I out loud gasped because of something that happened on the page. And my wife looked at me and she goes, "Did somebody die? Is everybody okay?" I was like, "Yeah, somebody died." She's like, "Who died?" "Oh, it's in the comic, but like someone died." And like, because he really gets me. And then even the arguments that we've had about the comic itself, he always ends up being right. Because sometimes, even like if I want it a certain way, if you could explain how the process of you went there and you actually thought about it, you're going to probably win me over, as long as it doesn't affect story, right? As long as it's like, "Oh, this isn't quite what I wrote. Like, why is that?" And he's like, "Oh, I did it this way because of blah, blah, blah. And I feel this." I was like, "Oh, all right, you win. You're right. I'm sorry." But Galarian, we got you. And Oscar, I just looked over at your campaign and you got a backer to get you off of this as well. You got another backer. You're at 139.
Oh, cool.
So I'll back Ace Blade when we get off of here to make sure that everybody's good. But we are done this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have successfully got some people, some backers, got some support, showed some love, and showed you guys some great campaigns. I have shared all those campaigns in the tiers. I'm so happy that people who picked up Wide Ash, people who've tried out RPGs who haven't tried out RPGs before. I'm excited about the dinosaurs that are going to be added to Charlie's bedroom based on what he thinks RPGs are.
It's an expensive outfit. I've been Googling offline. So, I mean,
getting them to float takes it to a whole nother level. Then you're talking anchors in the ceiling. Trust me, it's not worth it.
We already have the anchors, so we're good there.
Okay, then you're good. Yeah, that's worth it.
You're lucky it's 2023 and you have various options of those inflatable Tyrannosaurus Rex things. So you can be choosy.
I'm looking. We're gonna do a special cover with a T-Rex that's got some underboob.
There you go. Hey, if you need somebody, holler at me because I've got lots of experience all of a sudden at that.
And Brian, thank you so much. You're such a big supporter of the community. Comes out to see me. He's in the New England area. He comes out to see me all the time. Everyone got some backers. We've got some close. So I'm going to let everybody go. But if you're short, if you haven't met your funding goal, I'm going to let you do one more pitch. If you already met your funding goal, I'm going to let you just say goodbye, say your socials. But I'm going to let everyone who hasn't hit their funding goal do one more wraparound. I'm not going to put it on the screen, but Granite State Punk, thank you guys who followed it. I appreciate that. So we're going to start with Fish. You made your funding goal in 4 hours. So tell people where they can find you, and we'll share the campaign one more time.
Right now, GoMrFish.com is the place to find me because that'll take you right to the Kickstarter and check it out. Everywhere else on Mr. Fish Comics. Thank y'all for hanging out. It was a pleasure getting to hang out with everybody, getting to meet some new faces, getting to meet Scott face to face for the first time. We did a crossover piece on our last campaign. Anyway, congratulations, guys. Much luck. And I'm going to get out of here and go hug my own wife. So,
is she in the shower with Danny Crook's wife?
We're fixing to get in the shower. I'm here to tell you.
All right. So we're going to keep you there, Scott there. We're going to keep the quest here. I guess the only other person who can take off is Charlie. Charlie, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me at Charles Stickney on the platform formerly known as Twitter. I'm also at Charlie Stickney on Blue Sky. There's White Ash Comics on Instagram. There's White Ash Comics on Facebook. There's White Ash Comics on the platform formerly known as Twitter. And you can find me at LA Comic Con in about 2.5 weeks. We'll have a big booth there. Connor Hughes will be out, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, again, if anyone's still watching and you haven't backed all these projects here, do that now. This is a community, and the more we support each other, the more we help each other out, the stronger it goes. And so, yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
Nice. And on Monday, we'll have Connor on a rare interview. He doesn't do a lot of online interviews, so it's very, very cool. We'll have him on Comic Level Up. We're going to talk about his level up career. I'm really excited about that. So, all right. Thanks, Charlie.
Yep.
Bye. All right. So these 4 brave souls, Scott, Aaron, Oscar, and Ryan, need your help. They all are getting towards the end. And you can help that in several ways. So I want to tell you guys share it out. If you have another Kickstarter, if you're watching this and you're a Kickstarter creator, put them in your updates. Help them get to that community. It really helps getting that. Even backing for $1. If you back a lot of stuff or you're a creator, you may not know this, but backing for $1 sends an email to everybody. People hate following me because I've backed over 1,000 books, and they get messages of all the things that they should back. So make sure you do that. And I want to make sure that Special do that. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to have the show on next Thursday as well. You guys are more than welcome to come on if you guys are still live. I think all of you guys are live, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I end on Monday.
No,
so
Scott ends on Monday. All right.
I have 8 days, so I believe that I'm still okay too, just barely.
Right.
Just barely.
But we'll get to there, and even if we'll see what we can do. See what we can do to help do that. But I'm going to bring up your campaigns visually one more time. Share them out. We'll just give it a 1-minute pitch to get to where it needs to go before we take off for the evening. All right, we're going to start with you, Scott, and then after you're done sharing your pitch, just say your goodbyes, and we'll get you all out of here.
All righty.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, the Comic Quest, it's an epic fantasy series. One of my big inspirations was, when I read and watched the Lord of the Rings movies, I thought to myself, okay, well, but what happens now? Like the entire continent has been devastated and it's still covered with, thousands of orcs, and everything's ruined. So that's where my story starts. It's 200 years after this big war has devastated this whole continent. And now the adventurers are sort of trying to reclaim all of these lost lands. And they're led by the paladins, who are sort of like Texas Rangers. They wander the borderlands protecting the new settlers from these monsters. And in the first issue, our paladin Vess is helping this group of travelers, and they end up being charged with this quest, but they have to travel 1,000 miles behind the enemy lines where all the monsters and dungeons and all the ruins and evil magic are, and they have to go there to basically save their world. It's all the stuff that I love about it, and it's a perfect time to get in here sort of on the ground floor. This is an ongoing series. I've already got the art for issues 3 and 4 done, and I've got a guy working on issue 5. So we're going to have at least 3 issues just next year. So this is a long-term project, and it's just a lot of fun. It's something that I'm really passionate about and love. So hopefully, if you like epic fantasy, you'll check it out, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Nice. All right. Well, what I will do for you, and this is for everyone here, if you guys can get funded by Monday, I will add a digital copy of Cthulhu Invades Oz or Wonderland for free to your campaigns. So please add that to your campaigns and see if that helps out, because it's a big giant book that's really expensive, and people seem to like that big giant monster. So Scott, if that'll help you out, tell the socials where to find you so we can go on to the next guy.
Sure. Well, I appreciate it. So you can find me at crimebustercomics.com. I'm also on YouTube as the Classic Comic Collector, where I talk about indie comics, but I also talk about collecting old comics because I have thousands and thousands of those. You can find me on Instagram as _CrimeBusters, and I'm also on TikTok, but I don't actually know what my handle is there. I'm 50 years old,
You're not Danny Quick. I understand.
No, I'm working on it. So, and on Facebook, you can just find me as Scott Harris King. So, thanks very much. I appreciate it, everybody.
Thanks for coming on, Scott. All right. Andrew, scare us one more time.
Andrew?
Aaron, sorry.
Yes, The Grey Man. It's bone-chilling terror, supernatural horror. So if you like exorcisms, The Exorcist, Exorcist Believer, that kind of genre, then this is definitely for you. Follows a sheriff close to kind of retirement who gets thrown into this situation where he has to kind of investigate what happens at a local farm, and it kind of investigation leads him to the Vatican and the rites of exorcisms. So it's very, very cool.
Nice. All right. The Gray Man, it's got 8 days left. So make sure you check it out. So it ends on Saturday, November 18th. Make sure you check it out. Where can people find you, good sir?
You can find me on Facebook. The Grey Man has got his own Facebook page, which I kind of update, give sneak peeks out before everywhere else. I'd try and spell my name to find me, but it's probably no one's going to write it down. But I'm on X, formerly Twitter, Aaron _WROB. So you can find me on there. I am on Instagram. You can probably find me if you hashtag The Grey Man. My post should pop up.
All right, we'll get that out there. And we got Oscar. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Don't Push the Red Button is an anthology that explores the moral dilemma. If you had the opportunity to push a button and get lots of money, but someone dies, would you do it? We explore it from 11 different perspectives by creators that explore drama, supernatural, horror, comedy, and everything to show that this moral dilemma is about characters, about making the big decisions, trying to struggle between following your dreams and ending someone else's life, and how this will impact your life and other people's life. So this is going to be like high stakes. We have stories that go from someone dealing with his ex-wives, a conversation between a mother and a daughter, a presidential race, and the last person on air that gets the button, what happens with the people that are killed by the button. So there's a lot of perspectives that will explore this moral dilemma and the continuous struggle of money versus human life.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of great creators on this one, guys. I'm part of it, so if you support my work, this is a good way to continue to support my work in this. We are getting paid to be part of this, so it does add money to my pocket. So do that, as well as I would have been part of it for free. Don't tell them, though. But it's a great project. Has Francesca, has Liana. Where can people find you, Oscar?
Yeah, you can find me at OscarOM29 on Twitter, Instagram. I also write a Substack blog. It's oscarwins.substack.com. And there I'll talk about the process, talk about creating anthologies, creating comic books as a new creator. I'm fairly new, but I'm here with all the passion and all the I want to succeed. So I'm sharing my experience, sharing how I'm making these projects, and yeah, I'm really excited to be here.
Nice. All right. Last but not least, Ryan.
I feel like I've got to give you a big finish, so I'm not gonna pitch it. I'm gonna pitch it. I'd like to tell you all about the Gun Belt. The Gun Belt is this brand new RPG from Ryan. You can see him. His hand is totally not operating my mouth. The Gun Belt can be found on Facebook at the Gun Belt, or on Twitter at the Gun Belt, or go to Kickstarter right now and back us. You'll love this story about alien and robot cowboys that ride dinosaurs. Back it.
As
So
Ryan
there.
says, holy shit, it top. And don't hold anything against him for having Changeling up. Some people like Changeling. Don't hold that against Ryan.
You know, the truth is, the other side of this room is all comic books, and but we were filming some stuff for a Kickstarter update, so I have a curtain up covering it. Otherwise, I would have went in front of the comic books out of respect. So instead, you got the silly puppet.
Right. But like I said, Ryan's been a friend of mine for a long time. I back all of Real Fun Studios stuff. They've done a few campaigns. They've always delivered. They've delivered on time. That's another thing to note, that this is not their first Kickstarter. They've done some stuff. They've done some very cool coloring books. They've done a very cool card game that's connected to this universe. What was the other postcard set? There's some other really cool stuff they've done.
I like the coloring book that she did. The Dreadful Dolls spooky coloring book that she did was pretty awesome. My wife and I did so. Yeah, we're excited about it, and but we're kind of drowning by under the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles weight, but we're plugging. We're gonna, there's still a chance. We have a week.
Yeah, no, I think always, you should run it till it dies. Even if it doesn't work, you get that's a 30 days of advertising, and you get the next thing.
And the dreams don't die just because you don't fund the first time. Sometimes you just have to regroup and figure out what you could do to make it better.
Sure. Clearly that comment needs to be made. If it doesn't fund, it's clearly my fault.
Right.
But like I said, anyone can borrow either my Cthulhu, my biggest stuff, as a digital reward. Anybody who backs it, before Monday, they can get it. Make sure you get it.
Thank you.
So, and you can send that out, and no problem. Just message me for the digital. But thank you guys tonight. It was really good having you. I'm going to go and do the quick outro, which is the same video you saw before. So we are good to go to bed. I'm sure you guys have real jobs like everybody else tomorrow. And happy Veterans Day tomorrow for those who celebrate. That sounds wrong. For those who served in our country. Thank you.
Well, I served as an ally. Does that count?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the sure. I don't know. I can't really speak for it. Go to Denny's and try to get a free meal tomorrow. If they give you a free meal, that's how you know.
Is that how we're vetting our veterans now? Is whether or not they get the free meal.
Did you know Denny's has beer now? It's very confusing. Yeah, my Denny's has beer now. So after game, because Ryan and I used to play games, and it would go till 1, 2 in the morning. We'd then go to Denny's. Like, having beer there is not a good plan. Like, I shouldn't. Like, this is a horrible one.
I do not like this.
Right. And if you were at a bar, you probably were like, I need to chill out. I need to get some food in my system before I go home. You go to Denny's and they offer you more beer. This is not a good system. Yeah. America has gone off the rails. So with that, good night. See you next week.